Okay, welcome back, everybody. We're here on a Thursday. Let's get right to it. Take a quick gander at what's going on with the QQQ. The breakdown, type 1 pause, reaction continues. And we just got to keep going with that. Now we were at low as 360 this morning, so look at the last several sessions. And we'll just follow up on that today. Great to see everybody. Hey, Maya Gallegos, you win the gold for today. You have to contact Miss Stephanie over on the Discord and catch up with all that information on the basic member page here. That's free, of course. Make sure you get the software as well. And anybody that wants a free trial to the TradingView or any of these, listen, send your username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. And get hooked up with the software we're going to feature today. Also, really quick, look, I added a bunch of webinars to the basic library. I basically doubled from 15 to 30, and there's a couple courses in there. So check that out. If you're looking for foundation material, course material, strategy-specific material, execution, identification, execution, management, stuff like that, check out the new webinars added to the basic member library. Great to see everybody. What's up? Daniel, Alex, David, Cactus Leo, Rogelio, Claire, Frankie. What's up? Everybody else. What's going on, Scotty? Thank you for that. Appreciate that. On the QQQ. Yeah, the Qs, listen. The Qs, the NASDAQ, everything. We're hitting a bunch of levels. I've been posting a lot of short-term patterns, a lot of puts to play it down into these zones, even with these big patterns. This is not ideal action. I do want to show you kind of the big development to consider for today going into tomorrow, that we're deeply oversold on the 4-hour time frame. Amplified on the 4-hour, decided to go back into the zone this morning. So 14,960, as low as 14,900 generally is the real make or break. If this does not give you some kind of inflection here and we fail into next week, that's how you get the bigger move down. That's how we get to target ones on, say, the Qs. We know that. It sounded crazy last week. 336 sounded crazy last week. Here you go. Deep crab. It's on a daily. Daily or weekly? Hold up. You know, in the same way we had bearish patterns last year, down at the lows. There you go. Crab. And I did address this. I said, look, we're going to come back into the zone 365, 363 area first, then come a little deeper 352, and then we'll go for 336 as we progress into October. I think that's, it's unfolding in ideal fashion. But 336, we'll stay with that. What do you guys think? Were you skeptical of this retracement, this pause, this type 1 reaction? Or did you guys see this coming? So I really think it's been textbook. And, we had ideal confirmation, yellow dot, 3-bar breakdowns, continuation all the way. Probably not an easy read, especially if you're really not, if you're not doing harmonic patterns. Really tough to spot that inflection, at least for what it is. Retracement, reaction, digestion of this year's gains. That's it. James thought it would keep going up forever. I know you're facetious right now, but I think, from a larger perspective, we have to stick to the framework, because the framework forces us to not think like that and to completely follow the fact that the markets move up to move down, they move down to move up. We can only go so far for so long before you have to do some kind of digestion, retracement. It's just the natural mechanics. And, the only thing that we did not hit that would have been maybe sealed the deal on something even bigger was the 886 up at, 390 and change. But look, this is against the backdrop of a few years. So if we go into a 3-6 month retracement within that framework and then do a type 2 out of the fall, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. So, again, spot on with the 1618, really the key measurement. And sometimes it just comes down to defining the most critical, the most important level in the entire area. And I would say it's this 1618 impulse move. You had a down move from August into October, and then you sprung it really hard, right exactly to a 1618, which I don't think is a coincidence, gets rejected, and now comes back for ideal kind of a retracement here. We see this also in a couple of the big ones we have been mentioning for weeks now. So take a look at Microsoft on par for its target one. This was a weekly chart. There you go. And look at that. The weekly bars here for the last 5 weeks are about as ugly as you can make them. So weekly deep crab to 298. I know we had a couple of things at 308. I'm working off of the eSignal platform today. I'll go to the trading view in a second, but across the board, these are lining up. Here's Tesla. And Tesla's a weekly bat pattern. Literally just hit target one today at 223. Isn't that interesting? 223.85 on Tesla, and we're at least stabilizing intraday. But there's not much there. Got to go to the daily. So there you go, daily here. Trying to trigger today, and you have the same levels. So 223 for Tesla. It's going to be really interesting. That was the first one to hit. Of all the big levels we were anticipating, incredible that Tesla has already done the full Type 1 pullback. Remarkable. Could we get a relief rally off of that? Sure. Apple, same deal. Getting really close. I mean, Apple 169, we thought that was crazy. I thought Apple 169 Type 1 pullback would be nuts, but we were trading, 173 this morning? Yeah. Where's the, sorry. Hold up. I must have something deselected. Let me go to the other platform. Here we go. Apple. Daily, weekly. There you go. So it's a deep crab. Another 1618 extension impulse wave off of last year. 169.95. We were within, amazingly, like less than $4 this morning away from that. So you're getting close. At least we made the right switch at the right time. Been favoring puts. The gold members know in Discord. You guys know the charts I've been posting. Especially like yesterday's option contracts. Nuts. But we're getting close to some targets. So that's Apple. That's Tesla. Microsoft. And then let's go quickly through those second tier stocks that all are doing the big type 2s now. So here's where it gets interesting. I think for the entire pullback, last year's bear market, if you will, and then all the patterns of these second level concept tech stocks from 2020 and before are now giving you massive type 2 retests. There's Square. I'm going to shoot through about 5 or 6 of them right now, but get them on your screen because look, what happens here is going to really dictate the likelihood that we're just in a pullback and that that these concept stocks, here's ARC Innovation, are trying to do the beginning of a second cycle, if you will. But to the right of the downtrend, retesting, big zones. Here's the weekly zone on ARC. Yep. So you're back down retesting these lows, but you're to the right of that bear market for the first time. A few more. Here's the wolf speed. We talked about that. Down big today. What's here? The hop level retest. at 44. And then on the daily chart, we talked about looking at this to go back to about 50. There you go. Couple of patterns down here at, where was it? XA minimum was like 51, 52. Hop level at 43. And so that did another type 2 where, okay, I start looking at that. Or even stuff like Roku, because they did that huge move. Now they're coming back. In Roku's case, it's a bat pattern coming down, trying to finish a type 1 like Tesla or the rest of them. So you got a lot of these doing this type of a pullback. Now, others that I'm a little more concerned about are things like AMD, because AMD, a couple of patterns here where it never pushed back up into the zone. We've gone sideways for a while. And even after earnings, thought we could get back to 125. No. You're 105 at the moment. I'm concerned that this thing is kind of getting into a delayed type 1 where you go to 87 bucks. Possible. So just be aware that a lot of those patterns that went into a type 1 are doing their thing. Some are further along, others need more time, but they're certainly doing their thing. I mean, the big ones. Netflix as well. And these set you up for the opportunity, pullback opportunity we want to look for. I mean, here's Netflix under 408. We've been talking 387. And we said this last week, 437 retest would, if that kissed it, that would probably fail. 437.58. So we're down like 5 days in a row. 387. You're 408 now. I mean, QQQ's popping a little bit finally, but I'll be looking to sell that a little later. QQQ just went positive right now, folks, but not a biggie. Yeah, what's going on? What's great to see everybody in the chat today. Yeah, we'll get to BTC in a second. It hit the, went to the shark. It went from shark to 5-0. So good to see you guys. David, Vlad, what's up? Evan. Evan saying someone's calling for $500 oil and $20,000 an ounce gold someday. Let's get to $5,000 an ounce, Evan. Because I've heard stories like that my whole life, where gold to 5,000, and that was when gold was $300 an ounce. So halfway there, We'll see. But gold's been down. We'll get to gold in a minute because gold's still in a pullback, still in a type 1. J Togs, what's up? Great to see you, Vlad. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, what's up, Hawk? How you doing too? Great to see everybody. Hey, on Thursday we give away a gold membership, and the first person that was in today, as I said, Maya, you win the gold membership. Let's give away one more. GOLD. Type in gold, and we'll give you a 30-day. And this is also going to include this. So I'm going to do a seminar on some of the daily options, some of the things I've been posting in Discord recently. Let me pull up a couple of those charts. John, you already won. Please, somebody that hasn't won yet. I think you already won, didn't you? But check that out. John, if you didn't win, let me know. And I'll give one more away. But John Dwight. But please, if you guys already won and we catch you that you already won, we're not going to fulfill it. I got to tell you that. I don't have time to check it. I don't know who's all won in the last 6 months or whatever. But just give it so that other people can get a chance. Let me know. Anyway. That's the deal. And here's the other thing. Even with stuff like Amazon, where we said Amazon was hitting some patterns, bat pattern, 140, that's capped. Got to know that that's capped now, and we're in a full type 1 retracement. back to 119 on Amazon. Even as strong as that's been, that segmented move that started at the beginning of the year, over. That's it. Done. Can it. And then we'll get another shot back down here at 119. The only thing I don't like about Amazon, look, is we're printing weekly patterns. We printed a yellow dot. We are not breaking out of this downtrend. Okay. Anyone notice that the last 3 weeks have been extremely bearish? I mean, ugly day over day stuff. The last 5 sessions have been interesting. I'm going to say that. And you got a lot of things finally breaking down. But you know, let's let these get to their targets. And Amazon, look, I'll just accept the minimum, be super conservative, and say, 140 to 120 for now. Let the bat resolve itself. And it could make sense that longer term you do this little rejection off the downtrend and then maybe try to make a go later in the end of the year into next year. Sure seems like that pullback setting up for that kind of a move. John, message me on the Discord. I'll take care of that. All right? It's all good. Couple more. Listen, I think it's all about really respecting the framework and with confirmation. Here's Neo on the weekly. Looks beautiful. Okay, but the daily decided to come back. And it's still coming back. And I think we've seen that in a few of these. Rivian's the other one. Lucid did a type 1 move. They're coming back for the retest type 2. Was that hit yesterday? Are you kidding me? No. 1053 is the number. Still not there yet. And then you look at a couple other ones. Let's keep running through those top tech like Nvidia. I really didn't even put out the list. What was it? What's this? I think it's pretty interesting. We have a high level bat pattern on the daily that did an insane bullish engulfing. I mean, it was a really tough one, but still only a type 1. 451 resistance, and I still say come on back down. 410 is still support. I don't expect that to break out just yet. If that was a type 2 with confirmation, I would say, all right, maybe we should be paying attention a little bit more. Yesterday was a real just deflator, if you will. I have other nastier words I could say for it, but if we're looking for more than that type 1 correction, yesterday just knocked the wind out of any potential follow-through move. And look, by definition, this is what we have to essentially just be anticipating every time, that our bigger moves come on the retest of the patterns, the type 2s. And so, great move from 410 to 450, a 40-point move in a short period of time, two sessions. But now let's go back down and retest and confirm that pattern for something bigger. You got earnings coming up. I think that's the deal. That's why they're going to try to run it. But a lot of these that are coming in, retesting, they're still needing to confirm, or they're hitting their levels now, and they're probably a couple days away. What was the other one? Escapes me at the moment. Intel was one we've been looking for pullbacks on. 34 area, 36, 34 area. Not much because we just capped by this deep crab, but we hit target 1 off that 4-hour chart. Still, these are the same arrows I had from 2 weeks ago. Still looking for the completion of the type 1 and the return. That has been one from our option webinar where we said let's look for things. It was either like that Friday or it was even last week to really start looking at it. Not a lot has transpired, and this is probably one of the stronger techs out there. But I don't think much is going to really develop until you see this QQQ resolve itself. Keep an eye on that, though. I think we're going to get the pullback. You're going to get retracements here in a lot of the ones that have really exploded that are going to be sizable. Here's Applied Materials flashing a 4-hour bat pattern as well. Okay, give me a yellow dot down here. I think that's, that was just 153, now 149, and now take a look at the weekly. So this is what you're up against on the weekly with Applied Materials, much like the rest of them. Okay. Weekly back to back, we're just coming off of strong confirmation right at the 1618, call it 150. So even if you pop back off of this 4-hour chart, 150 is going to be firm resistance for a while. I think we got to digest this in terms of time. And it could be eventually a nasty correction with a lot of these where they kind of frustrate people because these patterns don't do much or they just give you reactions. I don't think that changes. The bullish patterns are just going to give type 1s, up and then back down for now. And until we hit those targets, like, Tesla getting to target 1, that's a great start. Again, that was 223. There's a 4-hour bat pattern. That's nice. Nice. There's 223. There's the target 1. That's been the whole thing. Now, I would say starting after today, you're looking for confirmation. You're looking for some kind of stabilization. Also notice Tesla, it's early, but Tesla's oversold. Could go lower, as it processes this turnaround. 2 or 3 more days into next week, I think, for sure, before that puts in any kind of consolidation, temporary inflection. But that has served us well for a short-term target. We'll stick with that. Couple more. A few of the ones that I have mentioned previously. Here's not Alcoa, Agilent, which is a single A. Agilent, beautiful pattern here on the weekly. Okay, but popped, rolled, came back down, and triggering HSI. That won't be complete until Friday, until tomorrow, but it will trigger. So you're 121 now. Don't be surprised to see this come back down and spend more time back at 115. That's a great pattern, perfect type 2. It just did a pop from the original entry up to 130, now right back down. So you're going to probably take more time. Another one just like that was Qualcomm. And I still like these. In fact, I think, you get to the right of these downtrends, they have the potential to do more. Qualcomm is, I think it's like 110. Couple patterns. Yeah, 105 or 110 on Qualcomm. But another one that did the pop and roll. Yeah, you guys want to look at PayPal? No problem. I mean, PayPal's back where 64 was the retest. Okay, we had a dot. There's your first. Check it out. Hop at 59.19. You're right there. And you just got the first dot on the downside since that post-earnings collapse. And it's also the first confirmation of the type 2. Really, this is fairly remarkable. I mean, it's an alternate bat pattern, so it's a little sloppier. but you're there with confirmation. So that starts tomorrow. That's a longer term one. I think stagger into that 100 shares at a time, whatever. If you're going to, let's say you buy 500 shares, go 100 shares at a time, but wait for stabilization. I mean, the yellow dot today won't be official uh, really until we signal some kind of 3-bar breakout, because today's the first day. Yesterday was the first dot, second green candle after that reading. Look, this stuff's getting beaten up. It's back down at major levels. Let's just see if it can hold in. You know, that whole list that I went through. I mean, there's a few more of those. Shopify, another one that's really kind of taking it on the chin. Looked like that thing was going to go through the moon. But here we are right back at a perfect type 1. So this stuff has my attention. Because these type 1 reaction trades, folks, when you have such a real, I mean, that's ideal. That's an ideal deep crab pattern. A little delayed action because there's completion, but look, yellow dot confirmation, sweet, and then goes into the full type 1 reaction after a 3-bar breakdown, 53.17. Okay, and give me something on Shopify. Is that a long opportunity? Only if I had something linked up like this. Nice pattern, but again, we're seeing things even on the 4-hour where some signs of flawed behavior. Most notably, look, we have a counter trend bearish HSI on the 4-hour. What about let me go back to the daily again, 53. All right, we didn't hit 53.17 yet. Really close. That's what I'm waiting on. I thought we reached that. We hit 53.72. So just respect that. Let's hold in. I said this last time. Probably the most difficult part of the framework process is just being patient with it. The number one thing I learned from Mark Douglas was that in terms of mindset, you have to be ready to trade the market when the market's ready to be traded. I always come back to that, and I think we're in that exact phase at the moment where, people are all hyped up after 8-9 months of straight up. And then we just walked into a whole new phase, or a retracement phase a month ago, 4 weeks ago, that, people are still hyped up on the FOMO. Couple more. There was another one. Sorry. Was it this one? Was it Arista Networks? Yeah, this is a type 2. For a different reason, though. Look, beautiful pattern, but this one has the type 1 action that it did it back in April. And now, I mean, it's really strong. Arista Networks really strong, but did the type 1 move. I don't think that's exactly the one I was reaching for, though. Let me look at the weekly chart here. Maybe it's on the weekly. Maybe I'm looking for the pullback on the weekly. Yeah, because look, even this is one of the strongest tech stocks out there. Just completed a regular crab 2 weeks ago at 185. It reacted, but no confirmation yet. Printing a pattern, though. I mean, I wouldn't fight that. That's not one I'm certainly chasing. One or two more. What's going on, everybody? Chat is somewhat active. You guys, are you on your second coffee today? It's great to see everybody. Dave, Digital, what's happening? Who's MTC? MTC introduced you to Harmonic, Scott. Super glad she did. Who is MTC? Hey, Victoria, welcome. What's going on? Daniel, what? We don't have... Where's the symbol list today? Daniel's asking, what do we do with all the ones that are coming back and hitting targets when the QQQ still has a long way to go? Well, we don't have any confirmation on these things that are retesting. Ah, Miss Teen Crypto. Thank you, Miss Teen Crypto. How is she doing? We did a great show with her last month, and then I've been just dealing. Regardless, yeah. Tell her I said hi. I have to reach out to her. Let's do a couple more. Absolutely, Victoria. I'll look at GE. GE is another one. That's an old favorite. That was a cult stock for a while. And then it got crushed. What do you think of that? I have seen this. GE has been printing a couple of interesting patterns. Take a look even on the monthly. I thought this was spectacularly harmonic. So check out GE, and I'm just on the fly here, so I appreciate this because it's a great, super long-term example of type 1, type 2. And you could actually apply this to crypto, which we will in about 2 minutes when I cover that garbage. No offense, but it really is, you need to be in the right spot and you need to do the right things. GE was an amazing concept stock that had a turnaround in the early 90s. It was a stock I followed every day, when I first started trading. And it did this huge kind of a move as it transformed itself from the 80s and went, 20. It was like a 10, 15x in the 90s. It was amazing. And then it got crushed and did what? An all-time 886 reset. Like if you told somebody in 1998 that GE would eventually retest 92 levels, they would say you were crazy. But look what happened here. Did perfect type 1, and I would say even GE now in a type 2 with monthly confirmation. Could that go to 237? Sure. At least it's a successful type 2 where it was not certain in 2008 whether that was going to survive. And that was also, don't forget, this was reverse split. So they reverse split that. And again, GE is like one of those forever stocks that I find interesting in terms of all-time signals. There's a quarterly chart. So here's all-time quarterly chart, which I think is also, first stop trend lines always. That's your challenge now for GE. So even if it did a type 2, I would expect this thing to digest that challenge. And then you got patterns. Go to the weekly shark. You're hitting some big resistance up here, challenging the 2018 high. But I think also it's about the long term. Check it out. It's about this that 1618 extension off the 2020 low. Ideal shark, right around 120, where it is right now, 115. In fact, your 886 at 107. Probably, if this thing is really weak, you'll see that under 107, and then shark goes to 50. Maybe that's a good short opportunity. Maybe that's a longer term put option play here. Let's take a look. It's a good one. I think and the other one is HE. Isn't that Hawaiian Electric? Yeah, and they got crushed. We talked about this last time. This one being like the California Edison one, California Electric, PG&E, was it? Is there anything there? And she's saying about the solar deal. Look, whatever these do, solar, wind, whatever electric or transformative kind of policy they try to pursue, I'm not to discourage anyone on investigating the fundamental story. I think it's good to know, who the players are and what the company is all about. I just always find myself coming back to measuring where the pattern's complete, where are the opportunities. Listen, if Hawaiian Electric, if this is all a short-term terrible phenomenon, which I think it is, then you got to ask yourself, if this thing is not going to go out of business, where is this incredibly cheap? It's probably somewhere under the all-time 886. That what this ends up being is just one big harmonic 886 cycle. And then the bat kicks in and you start the process all over again, but you're early. You're early. So whatever happens there, if it's that or it's GE, both of them are tracing out patterns that are saying, wait a minute, these are probably pullback areas or areas that need more time. And I like thinking about, especially Hawaiian Electric, as horrible as this situation is, and anybody that's been to Maui knows how crazy that is, that for that whole area of Maui to burn down like that. But regardless, you still know that that's like a one-time tragedy. And the way that they affect these, there could be other follow-through scenarios. But, this is almost like a bank that's gotten threatened to go out of business, but somehow survives. You might want to take shots. Probably not a bad idea, but the best way to do that, slow allocation. Now look at day over day is still dropping. So, I mean, it's more like you're thinking about it. Need to see a couple of days materialize, because no need to jump on that knife. Not yet. Not yet. I like that. And listen, it's not a bad thought. Also, where we are a little longer term. And I say stuff like, and I said this last time, look, I want everyone to be thinking, especially as we get into next year, where are you guys going to be at the end of the decade? Where are you going to be? Like, what kind of portfolio are you going to hold? What are your financial goals? I see it as this way. I do think there's a tremendous opportunity opening up here where the next 5-6 years are going to be great for the markets. But within that, you're going to have downdrafts. You're going to have really nasty quarters and 6-month time periods that are going to give you the opportunities. And I think we're going through one right now. And the thing I find myself gravitating more and more towards are these forever stocks, these long-term industrials with great patterns. Caterpillar is probably another one here where once it does its pullback, you're sitting at a deep crab. I'll be looking for this off of a daily or a weekly time frame for longer-term entries into next year. And I said this on J&J as well, and Caterpillar, J&J, and several other ones. I think we want to keep looking at these. Yeah, J&J right now is a deep crab. Let it come back down. Here's another one. And this is for longer term stuff, but look, Berkshire Hathaway. This thing likes to print patterns. You've got a couple of patterns right now. Shark, deep crab, a little overextended. Those are the A shares. I want the B shares. And Berkshire last year was a 3 ideas for us. All the way back down here. A bat pattern at 275. Now another deep crab. But I'll tell you what, we do the pullback. A lot of the stocks have done patterns just like that. In fact, most of them have a crab pattern off of last year's move. So now I'm interested in letting this thing come in over the next 6, 8, 12 weeks tops. And this being a major continuation low. It's, for now, down. But after this pullback, what you're looking at, you have to default to the longer term time frames. Because they're all up. I mean, they're all ridiculously up. And with essentially what they're planning to do money wise, the amount of money that they're going to spend in U.S. economy or what they've already allocated is, going to keep this going. You're going to keep the spigots going. It doesn't have to be a Fed printer. It can be a government just continuing to spend money. But this whole trend, I said this last time, of simply following the multi-year or decade-long uptrend is how we want to play this going into the next 12 to 18 months, because what we're looking for beyond next year is a follow-through, is a much, much bigger follow-through. So this is really important, and I'm trying to impart, I think, some experience too of how these things have shaped up decade over decade for myself, how I see this next decade shaping up. And you get to the next 4 or 5 years, you're in an environment where you can change your game. And you can do it short-term trading and long-term positioning. So let's just stay on that. And let's let all of this stuff come on in. I mean, let's let this thing do what it's going to do. And then we will size up that pullback here going into September, October for that major low. I want to show this for the Qs really quick. On the 4-hour time frame, this is the only thing I care about with the whole markets. And the Qs here at 359.95, I've been saying this in the Discord quite a bit. That's it. So that's your true make or break. If you want to know when we're going to get to 336, it's after this pattern fails. And that's on the Qs. So be aware of that structurally, and also the fact that, listen, this type 1 didn't even register confirmation. Amplified finally oversold, but nothing else. HSI, I don't know why on the 4-hour chart's not coming up, but it's not. This has been an aggressive retracement. Look, here's the beginning of August, okay? When we started talking about the pause. Well, this pause has been straight down pause. There's the hourly, and the hourly is, I made this comment this morning as well, that we actually temporarily, at least on the futures, we were at new lows for the summer. The Qs on the hourly are hitting this bat pattern off of basically that June 21, June 26 low. That was your low for the summer. So think of it this way. There's your big cycle, right there. Practically a 60-day cycle, perfect 60-day cycle. And then within that 60-day cycle, you did ideal type 1 down here, back for the 2. And now type 1 on the bat. Let's see what happens here. We do have confirmation. I do think this is oversold. I mean, really, I do think this has been even more. Yesterday was steeper than I even anticipated, but 361 for now. We should see something stabilize. I don't know if we'll get a full type 1, but I'm just going to continue to favor the 5-minute patterns. But 353 is the next number. If that's tomorrow or if it's next week, I don't think it's later than next Friday. Continue to stair step down. Couple more. What's up, Red Nose R? September 23 is the solstice this year, and then look out for the 21st. Yeah, those 21st dates have been definitely critical, I think. I don't do a heck of a lot on that type of, it's just cycle. And it's more of just like, hey, is there something happening there? It certainly has been in crypto. Couple more. Claire, come on, Claire. We don't do that kind of negativity here. By the end of the decade, let's change your sentence from dead and poor to alive and well and prosperous and banking. Banking off of harmonic pattern framework. Look, last year was terrible. Last year was garbage, but that's typical of a 15-month bear market. And so you look at it, you get that bad taste out of your mouth and say, all right, give me the type twos, give me the, give me the strong trending stocks, give me the patterns within an uptrend. Here's Palantir, kids, just giving us a yellow dot right now. Another check back, got a whole $14. Wasn't Palantir something at 15? Hold on one second. I thought there was something at $15 on Palantir. Maybe that crazy crab all the way down back there at 14. Or maybe that crab 15. Another one that just, I think it's letting out a lot of air. But I want to look to be hitting this on a retracement. Palantir is one of those stocks that, for the next cycle kind of a thing. It did its big IPO move. Let's see. That was a first thrust. Last one was a first thrust kind of a situation. I still like it though. I mean, in longer term, there's a bunch of those. Hey, I still like Rivian. I still like Neo, but they've got to do their type twos. Here's Neo. Neo, I showed this earlier, almost got to there, but certainly 1050 on Neo could trigger the type 2. That's what we want to see. Yeah, Evan, I would have to say chat sentiment is went to bearish, but that's all right. That's good. When you guys are really bearish, let me know. I think we just have to be patient. Talked about that last time as well. You got to let these things come in to do what they're going to do. And then even the super strong ones, like here's Cisco. Up today, really strong. I mean, beautiful. Off of last October's deep crab pattern. But like the rest of them, we're at that point, we're at a target 2 off of that correction. So we're going to have to digest that. Longer term, Cisco's probably another one where you don't have to complicate it too much. Let me go to the monthly chart because it's been around forever. If this is going to participate in the next cycle, where do you think it goes? Amazing. Look at that bat pattern. Right at the low at $13. But I think Cisco and a lot of these other ones, I could pull up a few, are more about just analyzing it within that longer term uptrend. And you ride this one, one of these ones where you're looking for that to go not only to retest the all-time high, but begin a new cycle. We've seen this a few times into the next 5 years. But for now, that's just starting to get going off of some recent patterns, and even with that longer term prospects pointing up, you're hitting resistance. So let's just let it come back in. There's a bunch of these that are at that point. I mean, a lot of them that did a first thrust. Here's a perfect example: Carnival Cruise or Royal Caribbean. Both of those were huge off the low. They have big patterns at these lows at $8, $10. They go to 20. Now they're going to come back. Carnival Cruise, let's see that, back to 14 or so, and then we look for the larger run, because check out the monthly. I think I mentioned this last time. Monthly chart, and in terms of the cycle, all right, this is the crypto notion. We want big type 2 patterns to the left of us, so that when they finally resolve it and break out of the zone and completely get going to target 1 or target 2, you know what you got there. So that's, again, where we are in all of these. A lot of them have set up. A lot of them did their first thrust kind of a deal. Now they're coming back for the retest. Then we'll look for that larger development. I mean, again, some of these lows that we're looking for, it's not like a crash thing. It could be sharp. This QQQ correction that's going to finish, that could end up being sharp, but still being a monster opportunity. We need to be in front of it. Couple more, and I'm going to get out of here, get to crypto. Probably even a good segue. Gold futures. Nothing changes on gold futures because we're looking for that to do the pullback. 1880, I think, is the number, is the bigger number. There's a few things here. A shark to 5-0, that's what it was. 1833. Several people have asked me about that. Nothing changes on that. We want the shark to 5-0. Same with crypto. Crude oil, not doing much. Holding in, but really just kind of not busting higher than 86, 85. And we have a little bat pattern off the low. I expect that for more consolidation. Kind of lines up with what should happen over the next 4 weeks. Even in crude oil. Pullback, and then we set up for a secondary move to go. Few more. Of course, you can look at XLE holding in off the type 2, but it's a shark. This was another one. Shark come down to 5-0, that would be best. And I would look at that 82 because we've already done the type 2 there. What's going on, Ahmed? Ahmed, this is Scott. It's not a deep fake. What's going on? How are you doing today? Welcome. If you guys haven't been here before, we're here Tuesday, Thursday, 12 noon Eastern. That's New York time. If you are new, go over to harmonictrader.com and get on the basic membership. I started this morning, and I updated and added 15 videos to the free basic library, including courses like the intro HPC software course, stuff like this. There you go. That's a good one. Or the execution, and then a bunch of other pattern. There you go, pattern videos. Do check that out, please. 1 second. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. All right, thanks.
Hey everybody, let's get going here.
What are we doing with that? No. Let's jump over to crypto and let's address the big Bitcoin elephant in the room. What do you do? 28.3. I don't even have to look at it. I've been just, waiting and waiting and waiting. Check. Guess what? Are we dump streaming now? When did that start? We're under 28,000. Oh, that just started. That just happened as we came in. Wow, 30 minutes ago, that was a dump. Well, 28.3, folks. And that's been our objective. I mentioned this last time about just being patient with all of this. I think that's important, and that doesn't change. 28.3. Why 28.3? Take a look. We go shark to 5-0, which is right out of the book. There's the shark down to the 5-0. Now, do we pivot automatically? No, we start looking for confirmation. Also, tell me what that bar is doing. Is that coming in hot and heavy, or is that stabilizing? I think it's fairly hot for now. HSI and Amplified are about to get oversold, so you're close, but again, we're probably 2-3 days at least before that triggers. So watch. I'm not there yet. I'm a couple days before. Let's make that number one. But I'm not quite there yet. I would be looking at this place for a potential turnaround, but it's not there yet. And then you go to the weekly. Weekly is doing something that I'm going to watch as well going into Sunday. Like, let's say this keeps sliding, all right, and doesn't stabilize right here at 28. We could go deeper, and HSI weekly might give us the first bullish weekly signal in a year if it can get a little bit lower. And wouldn't that make sense, though? You'd want that weekly oversold signal on this retracement. I think so. Be aware of that. Yeah, under 28 now. Let's go. Let's do the top five really quick. Number 2, XRP. I said 55, and we're going to get there. We're going to not only 55. I want to get a position on XRP, but it's not here. And it's not, I'll look at 55. Folks, this might be a full type too. So just be aware of that. Okay, we haven't triggered anything oversold yet. Our levels are lower on XRP. It's almost confounding. Why isn't it going up? I thought they won the lawsuit. Well, who knows? I mean, look, the crypto influencers are, I don't know what's going on. Maybe someone in here can enlighten me as to why a lot of the high profile crypto influencers are, they're going the other way out the Mexican border to set up internationally. It's the what's his name, BitBoy, going to Dubai. So, and then someone else sent me something. So it's interesting. Something's up. Now, those are people who probably did their own coins, took money from other ICOs. You guys I've never done anything like that. Just because I know you're really mixing in a lot of fiduciary kind of stuff there. But we'll see. The altcoins are looking horrible. And I think if we're going to get some kind of opportunity before the halving next year, let it come. Let it come now. And that's what I think XRP is all about. So forget 55 cents. I'm going to hold in here because it's a perfect type 1. Let's see if we get a perfect type 2. I hate to say that. But it really could be, it's either going to be 55 or so or all the way back in. Patience with it. Ethereum, number 3. And even Ethereum, I don't think is so lackluster that there's probably other things we should be eyeing up because they're better structures in general. But here's Ethereum, 1750. And we've said 1750 to 1800 on the downside. We're back here for the trend line. Are we going to break? You're threatening. Nothing oversold yet, and you want an oversold reading. Yeah, you want an oversold reading on the weekly, longer term. Daily is oversold as of today. There you go. Rather high level of HSI within this uptrend, but you better produce an HSI signal by today or tomorrow, much like you did there and there and there. You need another signal fast. So I'm not so concerned about it. I would look at that as a substantial development, but it has to hold here. You don't want it to take out that last signal. I mean, just constructively under 1640, it's a problem. But we know Ethereum has been kind of like a nothing for a while. Something else that has a pattern, Cardano. So I've been saying, look for the 28 cent retest on Cardano. Forget it. We're at 28, now we're 27. And coming off that bat pattern, and we have HSI, everything you want to see, but no yellow dot yet. What's that mean? There's no bullish development. You still need another bullish day before you get a yellow dot. And I think this is lackluster, trending action ever since that ideal type 1 reaction. I mean, it was perfect type 1 reaction. That was practically a double from there to there, but that's it. I'm targeting down in here 25 or even 20 cents now. I just, it's so lackluster. It's very impulsive behavior all the way down here. And this big candle from 28 to 36, that was a one-off. Really, that was a shake-in. And I'm looking down in here. I'm going to just step back. I don't like how this is coming in here too hard, too fast. 23 on ADA. I think it's probably it's a retest of the lows. Yeah, 23. I think 25 is a minimum. I'll look again there. If this was any other market, folks, I think we would have dismissed this already. Like we would have said, screw this. You got nothing going on here. Number 5 can be, I know what number 5 is. Number 5 is Bitcoin Cash. And number 5, done. Fail. Goodbye. Come all the way back down. This has been kind of the thought and the concern all along. Is this just a big, massive spike? It is. Where does it come back to? You're 204. Come on back to $90. Retest the shark. And I won't even think about it till it does that or some kind of big bullish pattern. That's it. That's a shame too, because almost too impulsive. That's a situation where it's so impulsive that boy oh boy, it's ugly and has implications, in my opinion, for potentially something worse. That it just doesn't hold it at all. And then a few of the others, like 1 or 2 of the others that we have been following that had big patterns and are retesting. Gala. All right, they're all just coming right back. And Gala's another one. It did a pop off of that bat pattern. You're going to come back, retest 1.8. Certainly under 2, and you have to trigger. This is probably the thing we want to see with this recent sell-off, is that you don't touch anything until they trigger again on the daily or weekly, depending on what the situation is. But they're ugly. Remember H-bar? We talked about that last time. Beautiful long-term stuff, but the pattern from last week, another pop and roll. Nothing is getting traction. And if anything, continuing to produce back-to-backs, bullish to bearish, bearish to bullish. Not there. We need daily signals to generate, or come back and retest some of those other levels we talked about. You're asking about Bit Digital. That's another one that's coming in like CleanSpark did, or Riot's doing currently. I mean, Bit Digital. There you go. Coming back into that zone on the daily. I think CleanSpark's the better one because that had the back-to-back patterns where we were targeting a 7 retest. Almost got it there 2 days ago for the full type 2. That's probably the better one of the two. But not if crypto's going to do like this. If crypto's going to do this garbage, then step back. Just wait on it. I still say Bitcoin's got to do things. Bitcoin has to put in some demonstrative action. Here's Riot blockchain. Back to the trend line. Are deeply oversold where it hasn't popped out yet. They're on amplified. Another reason why I like to look at both indicators. HSI triggered, but look, here's amplified, still down. Even those are a few days away. Really quick, let me come back to the Qs on a 5-minute because here we go. Just not doing it. We had a little midday dot, I guess, that checked back around noon, but the 30-second time frame, you guys know I like to look at the 30-second and a 5-minute for an intraday analysis. Just, quick. Not a heck of a lot bullish. I don't have anything immediate, but a couple patterns this morning in the pre-market that say we're going to still be down. Still down. Here's the 4-hour on the Qs. And there, look, this is the chart going into tomorrow. Be aware of this. We could go as low as the hop on a nominal test, but we break 359.95 on the Qs, then that triggers something larger. If you wanted to get long, it's still early on all of this, especially what's happened, what started 4 weeks ago. So tough little, storm that has taken shape here, but we're real clear on the objectives, the targets, the nature of what's going on. Same thing with the crypto, and again, for those that are looking to get into crypto or jump on it, please don't, not yet. I am looking, but I want to see this set up as an ideal retracement opportunity. And you're not there yet. I think Bitcoin's got to be the leader to do it. I did want to show the total indices for crypto because you do have really diverging situation. Here's the total index. Oh, nice down today. On the daily, okay, you're under that 1.1 trillion. I still say you have to stay above that. And, it not nearly the same damage as like a total 3. So total 3 was a perfect type 2 bat pattern. Okay, brought us back down to the range. What I'm looking for is a breakdown. If this is going to break down on the total index, and these are altcoins, these are T coins, what I'm thinking is a little bit different than what Bitcoin's doing is that almost mechanically we have to hit the hop at 250 billion. I think that's possible. With the fact that we've gone so long, I mean, there's the type 1, 50 bars and done, and now we are, what are you, 130 bars, and you're still trending lower. Not going to stop. Not going to stop until we retest these at least 300 billion or these static lows. And I think, hop level at 250 probably explains why these other altcoins have not moved. None of them have moved. Bitcoin's kind of cleaner because it did the double off of 15,000 and a lot less volatile, somewhat similar to Ethereum. But the other 3,000 crypto, forget about it. So we have to recognize that. Certainly, I'm guilty last year of staying in certain crypto way too long. And it looks like it could be happening again, where even if you get in now, you're too early, and the drawdown on something like Cardano could draw down 30% before it stabilizes. Just know that. If I'm not clear on direction, ask me. Or hook up with me on the Discord or whatever, or ask one of the moderators what I've been saying for a while now. And I think what we're seeing early stages of is an ugly failure, especially on this total 3 index. Possibility of going to 250 billion is big. Big, big, big. That's down 80 from current levels. So it's a sizable 15-20% move for some kind of retest before anything can happen. It's just getting uglier. It's not. It is zero constructive price action. Ahmed, absolutely. Listen, contact me or Ahmed. Send me an email. If anybody has an email question, you can contact me at harmonictrader@gmail.com. If you want to get set up with the software, like I said, that's where it all starts. I kind of appreciate you asking that question, but listen, just go over to the basic members page on harmonictrader.com and just first get set up with the TradingView program, because everything that we're doing, especially for kind of like a uniform read, especially on markets like crypto, TradingView is the best option. For our proprietary signals for HSI and patterns, that's why I really recommend everyone gets at least set up with, free account at TradingView and the free trial through us. So check that out. But if you have more questions, get with me there. Yeah, total one. Total one. We looked at total one. Total one, total two are similar. Total three is a problem. Total two, a couple patterns where that looks like it needs to do a retest. And total DeFi, which used to be, I thought, one of the more constructive charts, just has done zero. There's a big crab pattern on total DeFi index, but just nothing. So that will likely vacillate between overbought, oversold within that narrow range without really doing much. It really is. We've given this enough time. I mean, this should be further along on these altcoins to where they should be in a type 1 reaction. We thought maybe they could start doing something, a few months ago, going nowhere. No follow through. And I total DeFi index still is not even to the right of that downtrend. That's an easy way to size it up, but that's how it has to go. Stay with it. Listen, stay with that. Okay, and as I said in where's the Discord? Been posting. Oh, here you go. Over here in Discord. Okay, I've been posting every day the last few days. My first posts have all been bearish setups. This was this morning. Here's the 361 put. Okay, right down at was 117. I even wrote that in. Okay, and I'm going to still favor these kind of setups. Yeah, the 1618 was at 117. And now I forget where that is. But that's what I'm still going to favor. I'm going to specifically be actively trading the Qs, the SPYs with the options. I'm not even doing that much futures right now. I'm doing more of these options. And you want to trigger off these charts. The thing with the Qs right now, 361, are we going to hold it? Because if we fail that later today, folks, look, this might even be a big shoot the gap into tomorrow or next week, where look at those next Friday options or look at tomorrow's options. If this doesn't hold, why should it? We're just coming out now, but we know that has to go through a whole process to confirm. So I think it's vulnerable. Keep an eye on these Qs, 4-hour, hourly, and then we'll come on back on Tuesday. It's still down. Still down, still in type 1 reaction. Until that changes, until we get confirmation, you have to stay with it. It's gonna seem like it's nasty relative to what happened the first 8 months of the year, but that's what's going on. And as far as crypto and I know we've got a lot of crypto people in here. Please take what I'm saying use it to your advantage that one, you got plenty of time. Two, demand the setups. Okay, let this crypto come in. It's and if it's Bitcoin or like I said, I think just focus on the top five, if that. But they still haven't set up anything to really generate us a possible opportunity yet. I would love to see it, but it's not there. Looking for a low before the halving, like 3 to 6 months before the halving, you want a major low in Bitcoin. Right now, yeah, Qs are rolling back down. We're at 130, and I'm going to wrap it up with that. Listen, for those that have hung in, I'm going to give away one more gold membership and a volume 3 book because it's Thursday. I haven't given away a volume 3 book. Type in GOLD to win, and that person, you have to contact Miss Stephanie on the Discord. All right? You got to send her your address. And if you are international, Parveen, you already won, man. We know that. You've won so many times. J Trader, you got it. J Trader, I don't know if you won in the last few months. I know Parveen, you did, man. Come on. And John Dwight, I should ding you for even answering. If you won, please don't respond. Let other people win. All right, listen, let's get back to buying some more puts for an afternoon dump. Everyone else, come on back Tuesday. All right, great session. Thanks, folks. Get with the software and get with me if you have any questions at Harmonic Trade.